This movie sounds polite, looks cold, and is absolutely brutal. Tonight, we talk about Fargo, yeah?
And now, our feature presentation.
Fussy. Who hired this crew?
What's your favorite scary movie?
I'm smart, you're dumb. I'm big, you're little. I'm right, you're wrong.
Show me the money!
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
Baby, you are so money and you don't even know it.
Yeah, I thought this was good.
Hello, boys! I'm back!
Oh, let's Fargo. Welcome in, everyone, to 52/1996, a live movie conversation podcast where we take a look back 30 years into the past to the films of 1996, one movie at a time. I'm your host, Cody, and this week I'm joined again for Oscar month, Ryan. Welcome in, Ryan. As we break down the movie Fargo. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the podcast. The idea is pretty simple. Every week for 52 weeks, we revisit a different movie from the year 1996. We're talking legacy vibes, trivia, awards, performances, and whether the movie still holds up to this day. And this season, we are doing things again in our themed months. And this month, because the Oscars are next weekend, we are doing an Oscar-themed month. And it's called It's an Honor to Even Be Nominated, spotlighting the 1996 movies that were nominated for Best Picture at the 1997 Oscars. So before we get into that, let's ask our guest about their experience with Fargo. I know this isn't your first time watching Fargo because we did a Coen Brothers podcast a couple of years ago. If you want to check that out, it is available on Spotify and YouTube and all the places that we have it. But is this your first time watching Fargo?
It is not. I wonder where I didn't go back and watch that episode, but we made tier lists. I think Fargo was 1 or 2.
I could pull that up very easily.
Oh, really? I think where it landed on our mutual tier list when we did all the Coen Brothers movie. But I don't know when the first time I saw Fargo was. It had to have been college, and I loved it then, and I love it now. We don't have to bury the lead on Fargo. It's a pretty amazing movie, and it's universally loved by people. I don't know that I've met anybody who hates Fargo. I can imagine some of the violence may not be for some people, but
Right.
Other than that, I think everybody kind of gets that it's good.
Yeah, I agree with this. Now, I'm not sure if this was my first Coen Brothers movie or not, and I know that we probably talked about it on that episode, but I'm pretty sure this was not my first Coen Brothers movie, and I think
Oh Brother was such a hit in normie worlds.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that came out before I was in college, so that had to be the first one I saw.
I mean, that thing was huge. Oh Brother had the soundtrack. It had it came out.
Oh Brother, yeah.
Yeah, it came out when we were both 13, 14 years old. Like, right. So it kind of that perfect time, especially for me getting into movies. I'm sure that's kind of when you started getting into movies as well and watching them a little bit more. So
I probably saw Big Lebowski because of its like cultural like cachet among like a lot of like young men, you know, and movie nerds and comedy fans. Like Big Lebowski had a lot of good word of mouth, more than Fargo did, probably when I was like 19, 20. So this might be like the third one I saw.
It's interesting. This one was probably like 4 or 5 for me, because as I was getting to Oh Brothers, definitely the first one that I saw. I might have seen The Lady Killers after that, just because of the Tom Hanks of it all. I remember one of my best friends growing up. He liked that movie a lot. So we saw that in high school. But I was into like Entertainment Weekly and, you know, Variety magazine, Premiere magazine, all that. And I remember when The Man Who Wasn't There came out.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember seeing that. And I don't really fully remember like understanding The Man Who Wasn't There and being like, associating that with Oh Brother or Fargo or any of these other
Mhm.
things. But I remember watching that and being like, I thought I was cool because I watched this black and white movie, and Entertainment Weekly told me that it was good, and I was just
Yeah.
super into it
I
that
can
way.
imagine. I don't think I did, but what was it? Intolerable Cruelty? Did they do that?
Yeah, I think I
I
might
keep
have.
coming across that and watching it and thinking it was, just another movie, and not like a in the context of the Coen brothers. But I don't think I did really see that until later.
Yeah, I think I Intolerable Cruelty comes up uh, more than I'm thinking. Like in my mind, I'm thinking that I saw that before Lebowski and Fargo. So I might not have even. I might have been like late high school, early college when I saw Fargo for the first time. I think I saw Hudsucker before I saw Fargo.
I was going to bring that up. At the college we both went to, there was a single film class
Mm.
that I took in my sophomore year, and it was like a once a week class, and you watched a movie, and then or maybe something like that. But Hudsucker Proxy was one of the ones our teacher picked to show us, which was a pretty cool choice of that teacher.
That is pretty awesome,
Yeah.
and not the one that I would show if I was trying to talk about the Coen brothers, but.
Yeah, I don't remember what I don't remember if there was a theme, or I don't really remember learning a lot about film in that class. We just watched a film every week. And of 12 or 13, I think throwing Hudsucker Proxy into mix up with Rashomon and North by Northwest, all these big and Seven Seal, like having Hudsucker Proxy in there as an example of great film with its comedic aspects, but also with high artfulness.
And pretty clean movie.
And then we went to a very conservative school, a Christian school. So also a lot of the movies we had to see, had to pass some kind of smell test for being kind of PG in some way,
I just brought that up last night about how you remember in college they would show those movies in the auditorium. They were like newish movies, but they would edit them out. And I remember I was talking about Shrek 2. There's a scene where Pinocchio has a thong on. And they edited out the part about the thong in it.
Yeah, they went to some like Christian corporation or whatever and rented like reels that were edited for our safety.
It's crazy to think about, but yeah, that was
Are we allowed to say thong on this podcast?
We can say thong. We can't say G-string.
How many thoughts I get?
3, as long as it's not sexual.
Okay. How many sexual fucks do I get?
1. You get 1.
All right.
You get 1. We're a PG-13 podcast here. No, we're not. We've said some pretty messed up things here. So Fargo. I don't even know what to say before going into it. I think it vamped a little bit about it, but especially with us going, I'm looking at our list now. It was the number 1 collectively from our lists when we did that. Yeah. I think personally, I had a couple of of some of the newer ones up a little bit higher, but honestly, I think I go back and forth with the Coens about whether or not they're my number 1.
Yeah, they're definitely up there for me. And I mean, if I didn't want to stress about it and make a list or whatever, I might just off the, knee jerk say, all right, yeah, you want my favorite director? It's the Coen brothers. They're so brilliant and they're so diverse in their talents. And they, basically never miss. Their worst movies are thoughtful and interesting.
Yeah.
And I do think that even if anybody, maybe if either of us could say that we like another Coen brother more than Fargo, I think if to get into filmmakers heaven, if you had to say, here's your whole portfolio, pick one movie as your submission to be admitted into the Hall of Fame or whatever. I think Fargo is kind of that masterpiece. Yeah. Maybe No Country for Old Men is a more serious and technically impressive movie in the way it's shot. But I think Fargo is probably the Coen brothers movie.
And I think with the Coens too, if you were to say, oh, the Coen brothers are my favorite directors, I don't think anybody's going to be like, oh yeah, them. There's no controversy around the Coen brothers. It's not Tarantino where he's kind of reviled in some ways. Spielberg is the super obvious one that people will go to. Even Scorsese has some, big misses in his career and some, and
the Safdies could never.
And the Safdies could never. I don't even know.
They're good directors and they want to be the Coen brothers so bad, but they can't do it. They're not.
Well, they did their split too early. The Coens waited years to split up. And
Coens had a lot of hits under their belt when they went their own ways.
The Safdies made 2 movies and they're like, I can't do this anymore.
Also, no behavioral controversies.
Yeah. So no big deal. They're mostly just married to lesbians, and that's cool
Yeah,
with them.
which is like really hot right now.
Yeah, right. It's cool to be married to a lesbian if
Yeah.
you're a straight man, or whatever. So let's talk about it. Let's get into a little bit more of the details before we get into our categories. So we'll talk about our movie today, titled Fargo. Today is actually the 30th anniversary of the release of this film. Did not set that up for this. It came out March 8th, 1996. So pretty cool.
That's very cool. 30
Yeah.
years today.
30 years to the day. It was directed technically by Joel Coen, because at that time you couldn't put two people as the director on them, but it was the Coen brothers.
Yeah, they would take turns crediting each other, right?
Yeah. And it was written by Joel and Ethan Coen. The cast includes some people that show up often in Coen brothers movies, including I think Ethan's wife. I can never remember if
I
it's
never
Ethan
remember
or
either.
Joel's. Frances McDormand as Marge Gunderson, William H. Macy as Jerry Lundegaard, Steve Buscemi as Carl Showalter, Harv Presnell as Wade Gustafson, Peter Stormare as Gare Grimsrud. That one's a hard one for me. Kristen Rudrid as Jean Lundegaard, Tony Denman as Scotty Lundegaard, Steve Rivas as Shep Proudfoot in one of my favorite scenes in this movie, Larry Brandenburg as Stan Grossman, John Carroll Lynch as Norm Gunderson, and Steve Park as Mike Yanagita. And the synopsis for this is a terror. I did pre-read this synopsis for it. I'm really disappointed in Google with this one. Fargo is a reality-based crime drama set in Minnesota in 1987. Jerry Lundegaard is a car salesman in Minneapolis who has gotten himself into debt and is so desperate for money that he hires two thugs to kidnap his own wife. Jerry will collect the ransom from her wealthy father, paying the thugs a small portion and keeping the rest to satisfy his debts. The scheme collapses when the thugs shoot a state trooper. Don't love that.
Yeah, not a good actually
synopsis.
incorrect multiple times, and
Yeah.
also not a good.
Yeah, a reality-based crime drama has taken a lot of liberty there.
Yeah.
This movie has a budget of $7 million and a box office return of $60.6 million. This is one of the few Coen brothers successes.
Oh yeah, they don't make a lot of money.
They don't. Their movies never make money. It's kind of crazy.
I'm curious, how did True Grit do? I feel like
I think True Grit is like their best movie of like,
because they kind of like, I know a lot of like kind of people who don't know who the Coen brothers were, and like boomers kind of went and saw that because they like the John Wayne one, and
any Western, it's gonna go crazy for.
It was marketed like just another movie, not like a Coen brothers weird movie.
But it is a good Coen brothers movie. True Grit's good.
I like it.
Critics like this movie a lot. I struggled to find some that did not like it. I did find a couple bad reviews here. But Rotten Tomatoes has this at 94%, IMDb 8.1 out of 10, and Letterboxd has it at a 4.2 out of 5. Roger Ebert loved this movie. Siskel loved this movie. And I read the review and I only pulled one sentence, and it says, "Films like Fargo are why I love the movies."
Oh, I had read an anecdote that's very similar. I think I read that, but I read an anecdote somewhere that Siskel and Ebert were screening it together, and somewhere in the third act, Siskel leaned over to Roger Ebert and said, "This is why I go to the movies."
Yeah. I think that was in the episode of them, Roger and Ebert, or Ebert and Siskel at the movie, Siskel and Ebert at the movies.
Yeah.
I think that was in there. And
then Roger Ebert called it it was his pick for the best movie of 1996.
Yes. Yeah.
Come back in December. There's a very good chance it'll be mine. We'll see.
Yeah. And it was his third favorite of the entire 90s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious what the other two would be. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other review that I found was from Jonathan Rosenbaum. I believe he's a Chicago writer as well. Look, he's got a terrible photo. But whether these characters are lovable or detestable, they're lovable or detestable in a TV way, defined by a minimal set of traits that are endlessly reiterated and incapable of expansion or alteration, a fixed loop.
Wow, that is pretty brutal.
Yeah, that's a bad review. This movie was nominated, though, for 7 Academy Awards. Has a Best Picture nom, Best Director, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Original Screenplay, Best Cinematography, and Best Film Editing. They won 2 of the Oscars, one going to Frances McDormand for her first Best Actress win, and Best Original Screenplay. So
Yeah. Also, it was nominated for the Palme d'Or, which is a pretty
yes.
big deal. And I think it won the Palme de la Mise en Scène, which is like the best director.
Mm.
Can.
What did we do? Who won the Palme d'Or
I don't
this
know. Let me
year?
see. Palme d'Or,
I don't
1996.
think it was English. I don't think it was English Patient. They wouldn't like that movie.
Oh, Secrets and Lies, which we're watching later this.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that one because that is one that is on the list. I think it's in 1001 movies even, and so I'm excited about that
And
one.
I haven't seen it, so it'll be nice too. Yeah.
Other things that came out of this movie, there was a failed attempt at a television show, 1997 pilot, starring Edie Falco as the Marge character, and it was directed by Kathy Bates. You can find that online. It is on YouTube if you want to try and
Have you
watch
seen
that.
it?
I did not watch it. I was going to. I watched another movie instead, which is the I'm going to talk about.
No.
But apparently it was pretty good. It just didn't get.
I imagine that if they made a Fargo TV show in the 90s, it would have turned into like Welcome to Mooseport.
Oh yeah, I could
Like
see
they
that.
would, I think they would have fallen into the trap of it's the comedy of
Yeah,
like Youpers and Midwesterners or whatever. That's where we're going for, not the kind of genius mix of comedy and coincidence and brutality and stuff that the movie does.
they kept her pregnant, so she's just that character is always pregnant.
Awesome.
And like, does she solve a murder every week? Is that in this small town of Brainerd? Is that the?
Yeah, I don't know if that would work. The Murder She Wrote with Marge.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't hate it.
No, I wouldn't either.
I'd give it a try.
The guy that played the deputy also starred in the show as well.
He's
He
good. I've
reprised
seen
his
him in
role.
other places.
Yeah. And then also there was a 2014 series that's still going on, I believe, on FX that was inspired by the film. The first takes place in the same universe. The first season is pretty much like a retelling of this story in a way. I've seen the first 2 seasons. I really liked it. Good, unique stories. Gives you that vibe. It's not the Coens.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's not the Coen brothers necessarily, but you still get the feeling of the world that they're in. It's a little bit darker than this movie, I think, but
I think it is a little. I think the show's a little darker. Noah Hawley makes it. I think the show is absolutely wonderful. It's an anthology show that resists, a lot of anthology shows being amazing at first and then being horrible further on. I love the Fargo show. I would have Fargo in the conversation of the best TV of the 2010s. Like, I think you got stuff like Breaking Bad in there that's obviously going to beat it, maybe, but like I think it's that good. It's an amazing show.
And I don't think every season is that critically loved, but I think it's unique and it's doing
It is the kind of show where people talk about like season 4 being really weak. Season 4 of Fargo is the weakest season that I watched. It's also better than 99% of seasons of television. Like,
is that the Chris Rock episode or season? Yeah. I figured it was.
So it's just where it like, but then you get that conversation where like it's punished by its own high standards, where it's like, I don't know, season 4 kind of sucked. I was like, did it suck, or was it like, did it just suck compared to the amazing other seasons?
Yeah, and people were a little like, even when 2 was coming out, people were like, this is weird, and what are they doing? And because
they all start weird, and then by the end, you kind of fall in love with them.
Yeah,
and some are better than others, but I think it's really brilliant television.
I also think that Billy Bob Thornton is doing some of his best stuff in that first season. I think he's great in that first season.
Well, I want to bring up Billy Bob Thornton in a little bit.
Yeah, good. There's also another film that is called Kamiko the Treasure Hunter. Have you heard of this?
No.
Good. It is a 2014 film about a Japanese woman who believes that Fargo is real. The movie Fargo is real and searches for the money.
The money with
And this is based on an urban legend of a woman named Takako Konishi who was, who died in Minnesota, and they all she came over from Japan, kind of similar. They found her in the woods or something. I believe she got shot with an arrow and died because I think a hunter thought she was, something. And they mistakenly attributed the movie Fargo to this because she had watched it at some point, and that's why she went there. But yeah, the movie, I watched it this week, and pretty good. Like, it's a very quiet, kind of dark movie. It's like you're rooting for this character, but it's also kind of sad. So I would recommend it for any.
That is kind of fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not know about this movie until this week when I was doing the research. I thought that was pretty interesting. So Kamiko the Treasure Hunter, look it up. So, any other legacy or anything that we want to talk about? Palme d'Or, we already talked about that. Any other big things? Great. All right. Well, let's break down this movie. Let's talk about some of our favorite scenes in the movie that really pop out or define the movie in a way. We can go in order. We can go out of order. It does not matter. I love Fargo, so we can go wherever we want.
Yeah, it's funny. The way this movie is structured, there's a lot of lulls that are unimportant. So when you talk about the important scenes, it's only like half a dozen maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a lot of treasure in between. And I think pretty much every scene I'm happy to be there. There's one scene that we'll get to that I think like people think about, why is it here? Does it work? But I mean, it starts off with a banger. It starts off almost, and maybe it's like because of Steve Buscemi, it starts off feeling a little like a Tarantino movie.
Yeah. Anytime he comes in just talking, you get that vibe. Thanks, Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, pretty much. And you get William H. Macy driving through heavy snow to the only scene that takes place in Fargo, I believe. Right. And he meets two surly characters, and it sets up the whole plot of the movie. He has hiring them to kidnap his wife so that they can take half of the ransom money from her father and he can keep the other half.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's hiring a fake kidnapping so he can rip off his father-in-law. You got what's his face? I'll never remember his name. You've got Steve Buscemi Carl being really mouthy and mean, and the other guy being very brooding and intimidating.
Peter Stormare, that guy.
Yeah, and William H. Macy being bumbling and stuttering and confused and kind of placating the whole time. And that sets the tone up. One question I do have, do we ever really know, your Google thing, that's very wrong, says that he's in debt.
Yes.
But presumably he's actually trying to raise money for the investment deal.
Yeah, because, but I think he is still in debt. Well,
I don't think it ever says he's in debt.
There's something about
why he wants his money.
Well, so there's the $350,000 that he's talking on the phone to that guy from GMAC.
Yes.
And I thought at first that was only about the VIN number of the one vehicle that he used, but that's not it. It's like all of the VIN numbers he can't read. So he's doing shady dealing.
He's taking out a loan without his father-in-law's knowledge and permission. Mm-hmm. And he's using the cars on the car lot he works at and his father-in-law owns as collateral.
Yes.
So they're like, we'll give you $350K if we have like all of these cars as collateral. And he's running that scam where he's like fudging the VIN numbers to like try to like protect himself if it comes back. But then here's my thing about this. This is not the soul of the movie, but it really did confuse me.
No, I get it.
$350K with that scam. And he wants $750K from his father-in-law for an investment deal in some land they're going to turn into a parking lot.
Yes.
And then I'm going to hire two strangers to kidnap my wife and fake a ransom is for him to get $40K.
But the ransom is for $1 million.
Oh, that's right.
Because so $40K.
He's going to get $1.5 million minus $40K.
Yes. So,
but he's telling the crooks that he's going to get $80K and keep half.
Yes.
Okay. That does make a bit more sense.
So he's going to get $960,000 from his father-in-law from this, which I think, yes, you're right, that he would use that for his parking lot or whatever in the middle of nowhere deal. And
I guess the rest would pay off the other scam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but anyways, all you know is that he's a guy. Also, in William, I remember seeing this movie in college and some years later looking back and being like, oh yeah, William H. Macy's like, he's a nice guy. He got in over his head or whatever. He's not a nice guy. This guy's evil. This guy's very evil. But in the context of everybody around him, he's so stuttery and scared and polite a lot of the time that it's easy to think that he's just in over his head when there's these other evil guys to compare him to. But he's a bad dude.
Yeah. And I think the big difference, and that's a great comparison, is like him versus the other guys. Is like it's more inward with him. You don't see it because of that whole Minnesota nice thing that they have, but
Yeah.
he is evil inside. But the other two are just always like we're bad dudes on the outside. So
Right, exactly. Yeah.
yeah. So
It's a great scene, though. It really sets up a lot of the dialogue, the classic Coen brothers stuff, humor, very tightly scripted, funny stuff, and gives you the crime plot that's going to keep you going.
I love the back and forth here about the 7:30. Like Shep told me 8:30.
Yeah. Well, there must have been a miscommunication.
Just that Minnesota nice thing. Which I think the Coens really nail here. And, I'm not from Minnesota, but they're from Minnesota. That's where they grew up. And so they kind of know this world far better than any of the other worlds that they go in, even though they're great at those too. Blood Simples in Texas and Hudsuckers in New York or Chicago or one of those metropolitan cities. So no, they just really good at it, and they get the whole Minnesota thing of it all. After he sets the deal with them, I mean, they're like I said, we get a lot more of those scenes. We don't meet Marge and them until like 30, 45 minutes into the movie.
And this is, I noticed the second watch. I wrote it down. 33 minutes before you meet Marge and Norm,
which is crazy. So we get the kidnapping in between there. That's like my next
one's the kidnapping.
Yeah, which I think is I think that is a dark scene. Like it's a kidnapping and they're being very violent and it's a funny scene.
It's very funny. I think having seen this movie as many times as I have, rewatching it, the funniest part of the whole movie to me, and one of my favorite things of the whole movie is when his wife, who I wish was in the movie more because she's so funny.
She's good. She is very
so good. But you don't really get much out of her after she's kidnapped. But Jerry's wife is watching a guy with a crowbar and a mask on walk up the porch and look through multiple windows, and she just she just watches them with no reaction whatsoever for a very long period of quiet time, going, what's going on there? And then he breaks the window and she freaks out and screams like she couldn't see it coming.
And it's crazy. They do this in the middle of the day, and there are like you can see neighbors, and it's a neighborhood. I'm pretty sure is it the other, not Peter, it's Peter Stormare, who walks in through the front door. I can't remember which one's which, whoever knocks on the glass and everything, but he just goes in. He doesn't have to bust in the door or anything. This is Minnesota. Everybody.
Yeah, that's one of my what the fuck moments, because he does all that stuff to break through the glass, and then right after she runs away, another guy just opens the unlocked door and walks in the front door. I was like, well, you could have just done that. Yeah,
which I think is very funny. And she bites his hand at one point, and the next thing that you know, he's like wanting to get some ointment. That's the only thing he's concerned. Yeah, unguent.
He needs unguent.
Unguent. Which I was like, what is unguent?
It's like
Vaseline, right?
Yeah, it's that consistency. I was gonna say like triple antibiotic, Neosporin kind of, yeah.
Yeah. But that was the only thing he was really looking for there. He needed that really bad. Chases her down. I think it's almost like a jump scare when he's in the bathroom getting the unguent, and
it's filmed so well. And like, it's funny. I love that actress a lot, but I have to assume that the shower curtain running around and her running around with her hood on and falling down in the snow has to be like a stunt double, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, that the physicality of both of those scenes of her running around without being able to see is very, very funny.
And these guys are like, one of the things that I think Coens do very well is the bumbling, like criminal thing. Mm-hmm. And these guys, even though they're, doing this kidnapping, they're supposed to like not hurt her and all this stuff. They're saying each other's names at certain parts of it. Like there's just no rhyme or reason in them even wearing the masks and stuff, because it just doesn't matter. Like they're so stupid. They take them off.
Well, and then like a very big Coen brothers theme in a lot of their movies is like shit just happens.
Yeah.
Like they make kind of lighthearted movies. They don't want there to be a lot of heavy themes, and they kind of deny most of the time talking about there being any themes in their films.
Yeah.
But like two things that they do a lot is like their films have a worldview where like characters, almost like an ancient Greek worldview, like shit just happens and you can't control it. Like if the prophecy says this is going to happen, that's what's going to happen. You can't fight against your fate. And so there's all of the bumbling stuff, but then there's just like, I ran out the thing, of the shower curtain stuck to my face. I'm trying to get away as fast as I can. I tumble down the stairs. I'm knocked out, and they kidnap me anyway. Like, it's all like the robbers didn't get that done. She got it done herself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a bunch of like happenstance that could have worked out a million different ways. So they're very much about like serendipity. And the other theme that they do a lot, which I think is big in this movie, is they like an unstoppable evil coming up against an incorruptible good. And so in this one, it's definitely like the big guy, not Steve Buscemi, the big Swede, is like the kind of this horrifying, unstoppable evil. Nobody in this movie is strong enough or big enough to take this guy down. And then we'll meet Marge in a bit, who is the incorruptible good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they do some unique things with Marge too. Whenever like, I think of her as very pure and very a good person, but they do some interesting things. And like you said, there's a scene in the movie that is probably one that is that people don't like or often come to, that may question a little bit of Marge's goodness, but I think it solidifies it.
Yeah, I think so too. But
So,
yeah, now the plan's gone off, and Jerry's wife is kidnapped by the people he hired to do it. And then the first thing happens where the plan goes wrong, and that's where you get like one of 2 or 3 brutal scenes in the movie, which is these 2 crooks with Gene tied up in the back get pulled over by a cop. They have to kill the cop because they get caught, and then they have to kill 2 bystanders.
Which, yeah, like the cop comes out and like, again, a very dark scene, but still adding some like humor in the scene, which is crazy because the cop just got his head blown off in this situation. And then you have just Steve Buscemi covered in blood there going, "Oh, daddy.
Oh, daddy.
Oh, daddy." Which I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
And then, yes, with Peter Stormare's character having to track down those other people, they end up running off the road. He ends up shooting those people. One gets away and kind of runs down the thing. And that's where we get the poster for Fargo, the famous, body in the field poster.
Yeah.
And with the car overturned.
And once again, bad luck, like fate happens.
Yes.
Like he's driving in the middle of a dark road, that's mostly empty in the snow. The idea that you would come across a cop would notice that you don't have tags and choose to pull you over is not impossible, but it's very unlikely. But that's how the universe works. Like you can try to set your plans in all Coen Brothers movies, but your plans never work out. The universe does its own thing no matter what.
Well, again, with the bumbling criminals thing too, like he could have there are numerous things. He didn't put the tags, the temporary tags on, left the dealer plates on, could have done that. Even when he's talking to the police officer, he could say, "Let me get those tags for you." If they had the temporary tags in the car, he could have just given them to him and be like, "Here they are."
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't put them in my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't have to try to bribe him.
Nope. And so it's just his mouth getting him even further in trouble, and then Peter Stormare's character just taking care of it in his own special way. So you're absolutely right with the whole like fate and serendipity and everything. Like,
well, people make small mistakes too, but that's also kind of an ancient Greek vibe. Like it's the one little thing you forgot. It's not like a cat and mouse master thief detective kind of game where it's like, oh, I was one twist ahead of you. It's just one little thing. No matter how good you think your plan is, no matter how tight you think it is, one little thing's going to be there, and it's going to happen whether you want to or not. And
they almost come like I think of all the other Coen Brothers movies. They're just like these modern. This one's modern day, but like fables, and even taking from biblical stories or taking from the Odyssey with "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, a Serious Man" as the book of Job, and going through those. So. Taking those inspirations, the mythology, Greek plays and things like that, and then putting them on the screen in their own special way with people that they know and that they understand. It's particularly in Fargo.
Which is why the review you read earlier that was kind of critical of like the shallow characters, I think misses the mark in this movie. I think it's a fair criticism of a lot of movies that they're shallow characters. But there's a difference between a stereotype and an archetype. And I think these characters are archetypes,
I think that they used to get like I've seen other reviews of Coen Brothers, like Raising Arizona and even Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, where they're like, oh, they're just making fun of these like rednecks
Oh,
and
yeah.
things like that. And like I still don't feel like that. Anytime I watch this, I never feel like they're punching down at those people.
Well, you can feel how lovingly they're crafted. Like their movies are never mean to people.
right.
They show people cartoonishly weird. Chill. Dumbass dogs. But they're never mean to people. I think they love their characters a lot, and they're very tightly scripted for that reason. But yeah, I don't know. I could understand critics missing the point or viewers missing some of the points of these movies if you have to like watch them and not compare them to every movie like this.
Yeah.
If you compare them to every like domestic crime entanglement, true crime kind of movie, or you compare oh, I forget what I was going to say. But the other one you said, Oh Brother, to every other comedy, maybe like it doesn't work right.
Right.
But if you kind of see it as a freestanding architecture, then it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. God, I love the Coen brothers. I'm sorry. I just love them.
Yeah, we did a whole podcast just about them.
Yeah. My next scene, I think this is this might be up there for one of. I know I said earlier that I had another favorite scene in the movie, but like this scene with Marge, I put Marge on the case. From her waking up to the phone call to her investigating the crime scene. I love this whole section here.
Yeah. The introduction all the way through the crime scene is pretty great.
And
that even goes into you got Arby's all over me back at the station, right? Like you got a lot of it takes 33 minutes to get to Marge, but then you get like 10, 15 solid minutes of her.
Yes. And I love that, we could have gotten the phone call to Marge saying that they have a murder up in Brainerd. All these people come out and see it and then cut to the scene. But we don't do that. We stick with Marge and we stick with her husband. And he makes her breakfast and gets out of bed. And he's like, you gotta have breakfast.
You gotta have breakfast. I'll make you some eggs.
Which is so good. I love this. It has some of my favorite lines in this. Even in that little section where I'm stepping on my quotes here, but when she says, "Hey, hon, Prowler needs a jump." I love Prowler needs a jump. Marge and Norm are couple goals, absolutely.
Yeah, totally. Because also they're written so well, and that they have like worries and doubts, but they are like this is them probably trying to get at the Midwestern spirit a little bit. They're not overly concerned of anything because all you do is you trudge through the snow. You wake up, you trudge through the snow. You put a smile on. You don't complain about it, and your problems will work themselves out as long as you keep doing the right thing.
Yeah, they're just good. That's just good. They're either eating or they're in bed.
Yeah,
and that's perfect. That's a relationship to me. Yeah. In bed or eating.
In bed or eating.
But yeah, then we go to the actual crime scene where I forget his name, Joe or
I think Joe.
Joe, yeah, is out there, and no, Lou. His name's Lou.
You're right.
Yeah, Lou is out there investigating. He's kind of got the scene all laid out and gives her the rundown of it, and then Marge goes into her investigation, which I can't imagine there's a lot of murders in Brainerd. But she acts like a total professional in the sense like
she's unfazed by the brutality of what she's witnessing.
And she goes up to that car. She's like, 2 entry wounds here, one in the hand, one in the head, probably a defensive wound. Like just breaking it down, and then just asking.
At some point, she says, "Like, I got a feeling our murderer is not from Brainerd."
Yeah,
because nobody from Brainerd would ever do this stuff.
So I just like this, and they break down the scene, and then with Lou like giving her coffee and everything, and even the scene where she's like doubled over from morning sickness, throwing up, and Lou asking her, he's like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "It passed. Now I'm hungry again." Yeah, it's so good. And then they go back to the they make their trip. It is like these long scenes where you're like, why am I watching them in the car? Like going back to the station, talking about like the person, or no, that's after this, but the personalized plates, the dealer plates.
Yeah, that's on the way back. Because they're talking about the dealer plates, and then she makes that joke, and she stops and gets night crawlers for Norm, and they have a nice lunch together.
So good, so sweet, great introduction, and she's wonderful.
She's great. Oh, as an actor, you mean? Like, she's really awesome.
And because I've thought about it, and when we get to like the recasting and everything of this, I think there are a few people that could do a role like this. And I think that there are people out there that would make Marge a parody of a Minnesotan or a Yooper, or would be trying to go for the comedy parts of it.
Right.
And that's one thing about Frances McDormand here.
Right. I think at least in comparison, like Oh Brother Where Art Thou, some of those characters are cartoonishly there for humor for sure. Whereas in Fargo, everybody is embodying themselves in their own truth.
Yeah.
Unapologetically, and the movie's not asking you to laugh at them. Maybe they know, I mean, they probably know that like everybody's gonna find it like cute and funny in a way, but they're all like taken seriously.
Yeah.
And Frances McDormand plays this role not as like Bobby's mom in Bobby's World or whatever. Not as a regional caricature, but as a really full person.
Caricatures, that's the better word than parody. Caricature. Because I think about movies when I was watching, I thought about Song Sung Blue. I don't know if you've gotten to that on your Oscar list yet. But Kate Hudson was nominated. She's also kind of playing this kind of person.
Kate Hudson was nominated?
Yes.
For an award for acting?
Yeah.
I gotta see that movie.
And like, I think there are times in that movie where she is Bobby's mom. And I think there are times in that movie where she is more, Frances McDormand. But I don't think she balances it that well.
Right.
Yeah, it gets a little ridiculous at times, and it blows me away. I love Kate Hudson, but it blows me away that she was nominated. So,
all right, well, I'll see it. I'll let you know what I think.
Neil Diamond musical movie, kind of musical movie.
I did. I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was fine. Your parents would love it.
Or that she got nominated. That's kind of interesting.
Our parents would love it, I should say.
Yeah. I wonder if my grandma's seen it. She loves Neil Diamond. I should take her. Yeah.
He's the man. What's your next one?
It's kind of a long way away. If you're talking about like very important movies, I think it's when the rooftop of the parking garage.
That's the next one I had written down as well.
There's a lot of stuff that happens in between. And it's all classic, because what's amazing about this movie is not the plot beats. Those are all great scenes. The plot beats are all great scenes, but it gets its charm and its classic nature from all the little bits in between. You see Marge investigating. You see Jerry digging himself deeper, trying to run his his scam on his father-in-law. You see the criminals like kind of fuck a lot and then kind of annoy each other more. So it's leading up to inevitable conclusions. But the next scene I had, was Steve Buscemi's now trying to do the ransom drop that's supposed to be with Jerry, who hired him, but Jerry was not strong-willed enough to like argue his father-in-law. So his father-in-law goes and drops off the money. They argue with each other about how to do it, and Wade, Jerry's father-in-law, gets shot by Steve Buscemi and shoots Steve Buscemi back in the face, though Steve Buscemi lives. And then presumably Wade does not. He gets shot a lot.
Yeah, I was about to say, and then he plugs Wade like 4 or 5 more times. So,
which on my second watch didn't look so great, because like there's no smoke coming out of the gun, and there's and the body's not moving at all.
Yeah, it's
like,
just
all you hear is the sound and see the finger move, and then the body's just sitting there. Yeah, so it was kind of a little weak production value at that moment, but yeah. So he's definitely dead.
And then we also get Jerry comes in after to try and like scope out the whole situation, and he also comes in. He sees that the gate guy has been murdered as well, because Steve Buscemi's just having a bad day. After getting the shit beat out of him by Shep and getting shot in the face and all this stuff.
Shep beats the shit out of him. Also, a classic Coen Brothers thing, most famously done in No Country for Old Men. But you see important and violent moments on screen in this movie, but they're very good at making dramatic things happen off screen, so that the audience is a little behind and has to piece together what happened and feel it deeper. So, like, you see Steve Buscemi telling the parking lot attendant to let the gate up while he's bleeding through his neck, and you assume he does. It cuts to later Jerry going to that same parking garage to find out what happened, and he sees the gate broken off and the parking attendant shot dead. Which we don't see on screen. And they're very good at knowing when to do that effectively, so the audience doesn't feel ripped off. They feel like you have the same horrible feeling that Jerry has when he sees that.
Right. And then we also, with Jerry going to the top deck, finding his father-in-law, dead in the snow, and then Jerry pops his trunk, which I did not remember when I on this rewatch. I didn't remember that they just showed that, but they don't show you anything else. They don't show what Jerry does. Does Jerry put the body? I assume Jerry puts the body in the trunk.
Yeah, I didn't think about that very much, and I didn't notice if he's driving Wade's car or his car when he leaves.
Yeah,
Interesting. I thought he was looking for the money, and he probably was.
right.
But like, yeah, you don't see what his thought process is or what he does after that moment. You just see him pop the trunk.
Which is, I like it. I don't know.
Yeah, a little mystery. Yeah.
Yeah, a little mystery in all this.
Well, and it's a little bit of a trick the Coen brothers are playing in this movie because they're not trying to write a crime thriller, what's going to happen next, what actually happened, when are my questions going to be answered kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
But they want to do a little bit of that too because it is kind of the genre. It's, it's like the Coen brothers use genre to do their own thing, right? Like it's a tool they use to get somewhere, where genre films are usually about the genre. Like they have to match or subvert on purpose those expectations. So these little things are like, well, wait, why does he need the money? And what's his plan? Or what did he do with the trunk? I don't think the Coen brothers care about that having a good answer. But I think they know that it keeps an audience engaged.
Even with the $1 million that's hidden in the snow, like we get a setup for that, and we get nothing out of that. Like that's just left with a snow scraper in the snow, ready to melt, and somebody's going to be really happy when they come across.
Which on a whole nother movie, like you said, and that is the first bit of connective tissue. There's not a lot. None of the same characters are in the Fargo TV show, but that money is the first thing that happens in episode 1. Like it shows that ice scraper stuck in the snow where Steve Buscemi buried the money.
So good.
Yeah.
All right. What's your next one?
Marge and Jerry at the dealership. She's getting closer. She's narrowing in. Now she's connected Shep to the car with dealer plates. She talks to him earlier, but kind of takes his answers and says, okay, well, thanks for talking to me. And then she's like, wait a second, this doesn't add up. And so she goes and kind of pushes at him in a very polite way. Go do it. Have you done an inventory of your cars? Go do an inventory. And he's like unraveling. And so finally was like, fine, I'll do it, but runs away from her, which kind of like seals the deal on him being guilty in her eyes.
He's fleeing the interview.
Because another like don't scratch the surface too hard about this movie is later when we get to the end scene, like she's just driving around Moose Lake and happens to see the car.
That's my car.
Yeah.
And that's my next scene is the cabin is where she finally comes.
I have Carl and the Big Swede, and then I have the Big Swede and Marge. It's two different things, but yeah, the end of the movie pretty much.
So like Steve Buscemi comes into the cabin and he has already split up the money. He's already taken the other $1 million, buried it, and is trying to just wash his hands of all of this and get out of there and get out of Dodge. And he interrupts Peter Stormare watching his soap operas and just living his life. And you see Jean, I think that's her name, Jean on the floor. She is now deceased. Because
you don't really get that confirmation until I think Marge says it in the car.
Yeah.
Because you don't see that brutality happen either. Buscemi comes back and is like, what's the deal with her? She's like tied to the chair with a hood on the floor. And he goes, she was shrieking a lot, so I had to shut her up or whatever. But you don't know if he like knocked her out or anything.
Right. It's kind of interesting to think about that. And he had to shut her up kind of thing. And then we see a movie like Jackie Brown, which is one of my favorite Tarantino movies. We have that scene with Bridget Fonda and Robert De Niro in the parking lot of the mall. And she's just yapping. And he just shoots her in the middle of the parking lot. Like we see it. We see that.
Tarantino, you're going to see every bullet. Yeah.
Yeah, so kind of unique, the kind of same thing there. We also don't get to see Jean, if Jean was even was shrieking, was making noise, doing any of that stuff. We don't see any of that stuff. So, and he's just eating his TV dinner and watching some soap operas.
Oh yeah, because he's has no soul.
No soul at all. Yeah, because he's sweet.
So they argue about how to split the car up, and then he kills Steve Buscemi, and then the famous scene that I think like people who saw this 30 years ago and like don't remember a lot about it, but they were like, oh yeah, when he puts his body in the wood chipper is very famous.
Right. And I like that scene too. And I was going to bring the wood chipper scene. It's a good scene. Also gives you the bright red colors that we're kind of used to with Fargo.
Yeah, on the snow, yeah.
We get the red lights of like the brake lights. We get the red lights of the uh, trunk coming open at the top of there. So a lot of red in this. But as she's doing that, Marge comes up with her car because she finds the car. She goes in the back. The music there's no music.
Yeah.
While she is walking to the scene, the wood chipper, we hear the sound of the wood chipper there. And then we get the scene where Marge is yelling at the Swede to, put his hands up, stop, all this stuff. And he just turns tail and runs out onto the ice, kind of reminiscent of the earlier murder that we had in the movie where the guy's just running in the snow. And then the music, when she points the gun at him as he's running away, that's when the music returns. And that's probably one of my favorite like music moments of the whole movie.
Yeah, it was really cool. Because we didn't talk about music yet, but that Fargo theme is so doom bringing. It's so like, again, it feels like this is inevitable. Like you don't have control of your fate. Like these things were written before time began, and these will happen. Like that music is so imposing in a very cool way.
Yeah, it's like kind of simple, like not simple. Obviously, I'm sure it was hard to construct and everything, but it never feels like you don't have big horns. You don't have like these big like blaring sections of it. It is very quiet and daunting. Yes, kind of what you're saying.
Well, and I read a little trivia before the trivia section. It's based on a Norwegian folk song.
Oh,
that's about life in a very wintry small village. So you can imagine that kind of trudging thing in other contexts doesn't have to be like evil or scary, but is very like, it's always night here. It's always snowy. You trudge through the snow, whatever. And it's not meant to be bad or whatever, but it gives the vibe of like surviving in a little warmth in a big cold world kind of thing.
I think the most upbeat version that we get of Carter Burwell's score is when they're kidnapping Gene. Yeah, it's like the most upbeat the whole thing gets. Other than that, it's always that like very sullen and dramatic and
it's a very good track. I mean, we've talked before with Hudsucker and our other Coen brothers. Carter Burwell, has worked with them for most of their movies, and he is the third Coen brother. Like he brings a lot of genius to all those movies.
It's like Williams with Spielberg. Like he is just a part of them. And I know that they have Carter Burwell and T-Bone Burnett kind of both doing things with him, but Carter's their main guy. I think he went back to like Blood Simple even. Like
I mean, I think he owes his career to like those movies taking off.
Yeah. So that happens. Marge shoots him in the leg, wounds him, and then we do get some like epilogues after this, but Marge in the car with the Swede is really good.
Yes.
And delivers some of like a really good section there, going over everything, like just going over what we just saw. Lundergaard's on the floor, your accomplice was in the wood chipper, all that stuff. And then the three people in Brainerd. So it just kind of like seals up everything right there. Like, hey, you guys did all that.
Well, and it brings the Coen brothers thematic question of like, how does a good man stay in the light kind of thing? Like, how do you, in a world like this, like, what's the point of all this? And they're always showing pure characters in their movies almost succumbing to the brutality of world around them, but not doing it. But she's sitting there basically like, in a way, she's saying like, what's the point of life if this is the kind of stuff we do? If all of this messy, chaotic brutality, has all of these innocent bystanders killed and all of this or whatever, like, what's the point of all this? But she doesn't lose her soul. She says, and it's a beautiful day. Why did you have to do that? All for a little bit of money. Yeah. And then the last thing we get is her going back to the life she's made instead of fighting for those things and feeling very comfortable and okay with herself despite everything she's just seen.
Yeah. Do you think Norm's like, I know Norm is probably worried about her, but like, do you think she came home and was like, oh yeah, solve this case today. This murder, guy in a wood chipper. And he's like, yeah. Like, do you think that conversation?
Well, another little trivia thing I read was that the Coen brothers encouraged them to make their own backstory together. And the backstory they made together was that one of them had to quit maybe because of the baby. And they talked about it, and they both agreed that she was just the better cop, so she should stay. Yeah, that they were both cops, and he was like, "Well, I'll quit because you're a better cop."
And then he just became a painter.
Yeah,
just painting mallards.
He was painting mallards for the
stamp competition.
I love it.
That's so good. And they're adorable in bed. It's great. We do get that epilogue with Jerry getting caught in the hotel room.
Screaming bloody murder.
Yeah.
That scene goes on a little long where he's just like screaming his head off while they're trying to pull him off the bed.
But I mean, such a shitty person. Like, again, I think that shows a little bit of his side. Like, he just tuck tail and run. Scotty did not care about Gene, did not care about Scotty, didn't care about anybody.
I would have liked to seen his face one more time, like maybe in the back of a cop car or something. His like deflated face.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because in the scene where he gets caught, he's kind of like laying on his stomach, holding onto the bed while they're pulling him off.
I just wonder if this did anything for Scotty's accordion career.
Yeah, because he did have that poster.
He had a White Snake poster on it, like the one, and then when they close the door, is this accordion thing? And Scotty,
I was trying to look up because there's a very famous accordion guy, and I was wondering if that was him, but I didn't see it listed anywhere.
Man, but poor Scotty. I think Scotty's probably going to have to live with who is it? Stan Grossman. That's going to be his new life now. With Stan Grossman.
Live with, Wade's dead. Yeah, he's screwed. He was kind of annoying though.
Yeah. Anytime
I've seen a really good little kid when he was eating cereal and he's like, his mom's bitching at him about school and he's like, yeah, I know. Like, it was pretty good.
So do you think that Jerry felt disrespected by his family? Because I never got that impression. Like, I saw some readings of this that that kind of fueled him a little bit. Like, he never got respect. He never got respect from his father-in-law. He never got respect from his wife, never got respect from his child. But I never got that from his wife and child. Like, I felt like they loved him. Like, and like Scotty's annoyed with him in a way that like you're annoyed with your dad when you're a 14-year-old.
I think they may not be. I don't think they love him. From what we see, we don't get to see a lot. I think if there's a motivation given, it's from Wade.
Yeah.
And his like insecurity that he has to rely on him for a job. And then, I mean, Wade at one point when he tries to bring the proposal to him, like, he's like, well, look, I need money. And like, it'd mean a lot to me and Gene and Scotty. And the dad's like, Gene and Scotty don't have to worry about anything. Like, you can come and go, but I'm taking care of them forever. Right. And I'm not going to let you have that role in their lives.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be successful on your own. I won't be happy or proud if that happens. I want you to be a disgusting little bug, under my foot. So I think it's that maybe like motivates him more than anything else.
Yeah. No, I just saw some people reading into the wife and son in particular. I was like, I never got that vibe. Gene seemed fine. Like,
well, you only see him talk like
twice.
Once.
Yeah. So
now I think like you see that he doesn't, when he comes home and Wade's there and early in the movie after the first scene, he's a little pissed off about it more than she is.
Yeah.
But she's not like, so she's like more okay with her dad. Maybe doesn't understand why, like, how mean her dad is to him. But
we're just, having pop-ins all the time. I get it. I understand. Even it's just like, yeah, you staying for dinner? Yeah. Staying for dinner, watching the game on his TV. Like, I get it a little bit.
And he does, like, he argues with her about letting Scotty go to McDonald's, not with them as a unit kind of thing.
Right.
Like, he's kind of ignored in that conversation, but not by her again,
Yeah,
like,
it's a Wade thing.
Yeah.
So, all right, who's your favorite character? Or was there a scene stealer? And why do we have the same answer?
My scene stealer, my like dark horse scene stealer is Jean.
Yeah.
I think that she's not in the movie very long, and every second her face and her voice are in the movie. I love it, and I wish there was more of her.
I like Lou. Yeah, he's kind of
Lou's really good in that way too. Yeah,
he's very funny for the few scenes that he's in there. I had Marge and Norm. Those were my.
Yeah, I think Frances McDormand is the best performance. I think my favorite is William H. Macy.
Oh yeah,
he's acting his ass off, and every delivery of every line and every face he makes is like so much fun to watch, even when you hate him. Like,
do you think that he was misrepresented? He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and I think he should have been actor lead.
Yeah, he's a huge part of the movie.
Yeah.
In fact, I mean, it's Frances McDormand and him are the two biggest parts of this movie. Steve Buscemi's third, I think.
Yes, I agree. And then the Wade might be another supporting actor, but other than that, like, yeah, it's those three are the main actors. But yeah, I think that they I don't know, because I don't even think that's a strong. We've seen a few of them, I think, with like the best actor in a leading role. We'll get to the movie that inevitably wins that one for this year, but like, I don't think it's a strong year for best actor. If anything, I mean, we might change our mind with Jerry Maguire coming up, and there's a couple other movies that we'll be watching this year that have some actor nominations, but like, I don't know. It didn't feel like it was a very strong year, and I think that I think this movie got shut out in a couple ways.
Yeah.
But
I agree. I also like. I'm honestly, I was surprised that this movie was as loved in its time as it was.
Mm-hmm.
I would have expected it to have been not noticed or cared that much about till a few years later. It feels ahead of its time.
Kind of like Lebowski wasn't loved in its time. People hated that movie. They were just like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Brothers have not like in a modern like technological way, because their movies all feel old. They're all set like pre-90s kind of. But they have like a postal. Maybe it's like they have like a post 9/11 vibe. Like they have a postmodernism of like, we're not here to tell you who the good guy is and the bad guy is, and like what really is important, and do we have any power over our own lives, that kind of thing. They're just like there to tell human stories and let you decide how you feel about them after the story's done. And that feels not like 1996.
Right. Not at all. So it is a unique movie. And yeah, it is crazy that this got as much praise as it did during that time. So, all right. Quotes. I know we've went over a lot of quotes. What other lines really stuck out to you?
It's hard in this movie because it's one of those movies where every single line is amazing to listen to, but reading one quote out of context doesn't always do very well.
Right.
I do love, "Ah, hun, you got Arby's all over me."
I had that one, yeah. Ah, hun, you got Arby's all over me.
And they keep calling Steve Buscemi funny looking
the whole time. Every time, yeah, he's kind of because there's that like one random scene with the cop and the just random bar owner or bartender or whoever it is.
Thrown away scene, yeah.
Which I think is good.
He's like, "What funny looking in what kind of way?" He's like, "Oh, just in a general kind of way." And then then when he's talking to when Marge is talking to the escorts, she's like, "Oh yeah, he was really funny looking." I was like, "How so?" I was like, "I don't really know. Like more than most people though. He was uncircumcised." And then she's like, "Was he funny looking apart from that?" And she goes, "Oh yeah."
Do you know who that one of those ladies is from the sitcom, the Reba sitcom? I know what a old one. The old one, the Reba. Yeah. She's a single mom who works 2 jobs. She is her ex-husband's new wife in that show. Melissa Peterman is her name. She even hosted some game show for a while. I think she's in the new one too, the new Reba sitcom. So she's all over CMT and all those type of movie shows and stuff. So yeah, I saw her. I was like, I think that's that lady. I looked it up and I was
because I think one of them is a pretty good actor for being young, and the other one's like almost breaks the scene by like trying too hard.
I wonder which one.
Go Bears, I think isn't the best actor. I think
Go Bears.
Yeah.
This movie's incredible. I did write down the joke that Marge said. So, say, Lou, did you hear the one about the guy who couldn't afford personalized plates? So he went and changed his name to J3L2404. Yeah, that's a good one. No laughing. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think what makes that joke funny isn't the joke; it's how specific the license plate is.
J3L2404. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a good one.
What else? I really just had the last speech, and then one little one that I realized later may not have been that funny, but like I liked when she was on the payphone, and she was like, "Do you know a good place to have lunch in the downtown like Twin Cities area?" And the other person on the phone says something, and she goes, "Oh, the Radisson, huh?" Like, maybe hotels used to have really great restaurants.
No, I thought the same thing. I was like, "Oh, the Radisson, yeah."
You got the whole city. There's a whole city here, and the best place to have lunch is the Radisson. Nothing screams Midwest more than that.
Oh yeah, and I love the buffet scene with everything. God, so good. I had one that I really loved, very ending, and it's between Marge and Norm when they're in bed, and he's told her about he's kind of underselling that he got on the 3-cent stamp, and I love the way that she delivers. I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's
the delivery is really good.
For Pete's sake, of course they do. Whenever they raise the postage, people need the little stamps.
Yeah.
I loved that line.
And then he looks at her like he doesn't understand, and she was like, "When they're stuck with a bunch of the old ones."
And then 2 months, 2 more months.
2 months. We're doing all right, Norm, is what she says.
All right. Yeah.
Love you, Margie.
Love you, Margie. Love you, Norm. The speech at the end. Did you want to do that one?
Sure. She's driving away with the big suite in the back, and she says, "So that was Mrs. Lundegard on the floor in there, and I guess that was your accomplice in the wood chipper, and those 3 people in Brainerd. And for what? For a little bit of money? There's more than life than a little money, Don't you know that? And here you are, and it's a beautiful day. Well, I just don't understand it."
It's good.
Well, here you are, and it's a beautiful day is a great line. Like,
it's funny too, because it's not a beautiful day ever. It's gray and snowy, but
it is to her. Every day is a beautiful day to Marge.
Every day is a beautiful day to Marge. Yeah. I love it. All right. Biggest laugh, cry, scare, thrill. What moments maybe hit the hardest emotionally for you?
I just had I didn't have a lot.
I didn't either, but I have 2.
A little laugh is when Jerry's really stressing out about everything going wrong. It cuts to him, and he's just drawing little circles on a Post-it note over and over and over again.
Did you read the trivia about that?
No.
Yeah, so trivia is like that wasn't even supposed to be in the movie. They caught William H. Macy in between scenes doing that, and they're like, "We love that. Can you do that?" And we'll add that into the movie. So
that's the thing I would do. Yeah. I'm just kind of like impatient or nervous. I don't have a good art. Like, I'm not good at doodling or drawing anything. So when I was bored or impatient or anxious, I would just draw shapes like that.
Yeah. One of my biggest laugh scenes is when Shep bursts into Carl's room and while he's having sex with her and throws Steve Buscemi's character.
You see one arm come and grab her shoulder and just launch her off of him.
And he kicks her down the hallway too.
Yeah.
But like you see Steve Buscemi's naked body, his balls flapping in the wind there, like fly across the room. But I love Carl's line there. Shep, what the fuck are you doing? I'm banging that girl.
Yeah. Because he doesn't say, Shep, what are you doing here? He's like, I don't know why you're here.
Yeah, Shep, what the fuck you doing?
I was banging that girl. I forget what she's saying too. She's like, yeah, all right.
Oh, ring that bell. Ring that bell. All right, you gonna ring that bell for me? Yeah. No, that's in my what the fuck moments. Oh my gosh. I also have when she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna barf." Well, that passed. Now I'm hungry again.
Yeah.
And the whole crime scene I thought was a pretty funny moment. But anything else? What else?
Nope. I got some what the fuck moments. No cries. I mean, there are a lot of thrills. We talked about the scenes that are like Tarantino-esque in their random brutality or tension.
Yeah. What do you have for the most ridiculous moment?
We talked about breaking the window and opening the front door. And we talked about the shooting. All right, 2 things. One's a small thing. When Jerry comes back and he knows that she's been kidnapped, and you see him, he carries 2 paper bags full of groceries, and he carries them all the way upstairs and is looking at what happened in the bathroom. I just would have put the groceries down.
Yeah, put the groceries down.
Yeah, don't carry them upstairs.
No. Yeah. What are you doing?
And the most what the fuck moment is they get straight fries from Arby's, not curly fries.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's crazy.
I thought you were going
to. They had curly fries back then. How old are they?
Yeah, seriously. No, as far as I know, they've always had curly fries.
Introduced in 1988. They did not have curly fries in 1987.
Oh,
they have in 1996.
That's good work then.
Or do you think some production assistant was like, hey, to be true to the time period, we can't have curly fries?
Wow.
I hope that's the case.
I hope so too. That's good. That's some good work.
Yeah.
Good job, production assistants. Like
this whole movie takes place in a year before they were curly fries. It just makes the whole story feel different.
Well, now I have to write I have to change some of my biggest laugh, cry, scares, or thrills.
Yeah,
this just changes everything.
That's my biggest cry. There's no Arby's curly fries in this universe.
Those are good fries. I'll get them frozen sometimes. Those are good.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to bring up another scene in this section here. I thought you were going to bring up Mikey and Agita.
Oh yeah, just the whole situation.
Yeah.
I don't hate that scene. When I read online, a lot of people disliked it. I think it's fine. I think that the actor playing Mike is doing a really good job, but not quite good enough. And that's
Yeah.
what bothers me about the scene is that he's being a little too cartoonish. And that takes me out of how well acted and written all the other characters are.
Mhm.
But the fact that the scene's in there doesn't bother me, though it bothers some people.
Do you think that it makes more sense after she gets the phone call that says like, oh, Mikey Yanagita is like kind of off his rocker. And like he made up all that story and everything about having a wife and all that, the wife dying. Like, does that help Eddie at all?
I don't think that phone call is necessary in the movie, really.
I do think the phone call is necessary because I think that is a moment when we're supposed to like, not that Marge couldn't have done this, but I do think that it's like a trusting moment. Like, because right after that phone call, she goes back to Jerry. She goes back to the dealership, and that's when she's gonna like question him. So she's like very trusting of people whenever they speak to her, and like that. And then on the phone, she's like, "Hey, Mikey Anagita is making all that shit up that you just learned from him." And then she goes, "Oh yeah."
It's
and
almost like she was reminded that people can lie.
People can lie. Yeah,
what's been told to her.
Yeah. The only bad, like, there is a little bit like Marge is a good cop.
Shep is lying, and she talks his way around that real easy.
So I like it, and I don't like it.
Well, people say it doesn't have much to do with it. I think people are like, well, it doesn't have much to do with the plot. I was like, a lot of these scenes don't really have much to do with the plot, so that doesn't bother me. And then I saw some people thinking that like it made her look bad, like she was maybe like stepping outside of the marriage, and I don't really think so. It would be crazy if that was the implication because they haven't shown her to have any feelings like that or their marriage to have any problems like that, and then to have that in there without any foreshadowing or conclusion would be insane.
Yeah.
I think it's more like, oh, while I'm there, I guess I'll see him like Yanagita in a way that I do as a Midwesterner. When you get a phone call from somebody and you're nearby, you drop in. What's kind of interesting is when she realizes that he's coming on to her. I don't know like when exactly that happens.
Yeah, he gives her that hug and that really tight hug, and she's like, "Hey," and then he's like, "Can I sit over there with you?" And then she stops him, which I really like.
Yeah,
I like that part, and she's like, and the way she handles it too, in a way, like,
she lets him keep his dignity as much as possible.
Yes,
yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, I just can't. I don't want to be talking to you with my neck. I don't want to hurt my neck from talking to you on the side all the time." So
yeah, right.
I like it. Yeah.
She's never like, there's never a look of disgust. Like, I do like the way she plays that scene because she's never like overly nice in the way that she now has to carry this man's burden for him. But she's never disgusted by him or never sees him as like, something small or pathetic, even though he's being small and pathetic.
Do you think she's wanting the attention? Like, do you think that there is like an attention thing there? Like the fact that this guy kind of had a crush on her, she's pregnant, she's married, and like,
I don't see that in the movie, and I didn't assume that. I mean, like, it's understandable in that situation, out of town. Hey, I think this guy has a little crush on me. Why not, have that attention? Like, all of that's like reasonable human behavior, but none of that's in the movie.
Right.
I think it's just another scene. In fact, I think there is one quote somebody said, one of the Coens said about it, which was like, we just wanted to see Marge's character a little more outside of being a cop.
Right. And I read somewhere that she requested it because she was like, the only time I'm doing anything in this movie, I'm either with my husband or I'm a cop. And,
okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were like, they wrote that scene in like 30 minutes and we're like, okay, here you go. Here's your new scene with Mikey Anagita.
Yeah. And honestly, I didn't need him to be, I understand what you're saying about the phone call, but I didn't need him to be a liar. Like it was already very understandable. This is a lonely guy, sees a crush he had in high school on TV, decides to call her up because he's a little desperate, is crazy happy that now she's like, hey, let's have dinner. But I think his like quick devolution into like sobbing in front of her is almost a little too cartoonish.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like about it.
But I also think that if you were to think that like she's got it, like I think in that moment, Marge is like, I'm like everything is good for me. I'm in a good place. Like even without learning Mike's story, like the truth about Mike, she has now like saw this guy break down in front of her, but she's got a solid norm at home painting, and
Which is what you get at the end of the movie when
Yeah.
she's kind of doing that speech. She's almost talking to herself and being like, "What the hell is all of this? I just want to go home and be with my husband."
exactly.
It's a smaller version of that. I get it. Yeah.
So
I'm inclined to still think it's not that deep of a scene. And
Mhm.
yeah, if it was lost out of the movie, I don't think we'd lose anything great, but I don't mind it being there either.
Yeah.
Plus,
Add
I
more.
mean, then Shep's the only person who's not the whitest person in the world in this movie.
It's true. It's true. They've added Stephen Park. He's come back into some of their now he's in the West. He's in Wes Anderson movies now. He's been in a couple Coen Brothers movies, but yeah, Wes Anderson really
that's
likes
Shep?
him. No, I'm talking about Yanagita.
Yeah, Nagita. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Shep is a very good actor, in my opinion.
I mean, he does his job.
Yeah, he's just the force. Best music moment. I already went over mine. Did you have any specifics about the music?
Well, I do like the very beginning of the movie with the Merle Haggard Big City drop.
Mm.
I think that sets a good tone. And then of course you have Jose Feliciano doing a cameo and singing beautifully for a few seconds.
Yeah. I had no idea who Jose Feliciano was until
I know
I
that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the first time I saw it, I was like, "Who's Jose Feliciano?" I bet my parents know who Jose Feliciano is.
Yeah, I know the name, and that was about it. But I bet I'd recognize a few of his tracks.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat did say, "I love his score. I love Carter Burwell's score for Ballad of Buster Scruggs." And I love, but that's a good one too, and that's a unique one too because like he's basically doing 5-6 different scored stories for that one, and they each have their own unique score for each story that's going on in those. But Buster Scruggs is an underrated movie. I like that movie.
It is really good.
All right, let's do F, Marry, Kill. 3 characters. We'll play the game. I'm giving you
chat.
Wake up, chat. It's time for F, Marry, Kill. We're gonna do Mike Yanagita, Jerry Lundegaard, and Carl Showalter.
I miss my foreskin.
Clip it.
So I'm gonna fuck Carl to
Dude.
That's like
I will say one thing. Carl fucks. Like
he fucks.
He knows where.
I think he's the best lover in the world, but he's not a cold fish either. He's in it. Yeah.
He knows what he likes to do, and it's have sex with sex workers.
Yeah, he's horny,
and he knows where to get them.
That's true.
He knows the spots.
All right, and then what do I got? Not Shep. I got Yanagita and Jerry.
Yeah, Yanagita and Jerry. Because I wanted to give you the Weasley guys.
Yeah, these are all Weasley guys. I would kill Jerry, and I would marry Yanagita. Like I think he's salvageable. He's a nice enough dude. He's clearly smart. He's dressed nice. He's
would
handsome.
You live with his parents?
I mean, I don't know if I would do that, but I think he could hold down a job.
Yeah.
Plus, all we got is some disembodied rumor on a phone. Like, let's give the guy a chance, right? Like,
I don't know why.
I might still work at Honeywell and was just lying about being married.
I went immediately to R. Crumb's brother with Mike Yanagita. I was like, "This is Mike Yanagita's life." Is R. Crumb's brother?
Oh no, I didn't think that at all. And I guess I only really internalized that he was lying about being married. But I didn't know that he didn't have a career. But I guess if he's lying about being married, he's probably not an engineer at Honeywell.
Yeah, he's not an engineer. He lives with his parent. Well, again, if we're taking the phone call from that Marge got, we don't know.
Remember your Veggie Tales. The rumor weed. I think he's a good looking guy and he's down and out. But I mean, I'm definitely I know what Jerry's like in a relationship.
Oh, I'd kill Jerry. That's the easiest one here.
Yeah, and I don't think it'd be good long term with Carl. Like I think Mike's your best chance for a long term marriage.
I agree. I think we nailed that one. All right, who gave the best performance in this movie?
Frances McDormand did.
Yeah, I do. I am glad that you talked about William H. Macy earlier and giving him his props because when people talk about this movie, they always talk about Frances McDormand.
Yeah,
and she's amazing. again, I think like Frances McDormand takes a character that could be easily a caricature of the people of this region and gives it heart and gives it balance, and you take her seriously and you believe her.
She's
Like,
doing a lot of precise things that
yeah,
a little bit in either direction make the role worse.
yeah.
She's like hitting the narrow target every time.
So I am so glad that you brought up William H. Macy, because he does a good job in this, in a role that he is not supposed to be a likable guy.
Yes.
And I think every time that I watch this movie, I think the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, probably a little bit more sympathetic towards Jerry. But now I'm just like, no, that guy truly is evil. Like,
He's horrible,
he
but he's
just
very
is where,
human. Like,
yeah.
like Buscemi's character is just an asshole who doesn't care,
Mhm.
and the Big Swede is like the unstoppable force of evil, is almost
Right.
inhuman. But Jerry's evil, but he's very human in his wants, in his needs, and his feelings, and they're all out there. And yeah, it's brilliant acting from William H. Macy. So it deserves credit. Like, when we get to recasting, this movie doesn't need to be recast almost anywhere.
No.
Like, it's almost perfectly cast. So, but there's a lot of people who could do just as well as other people in this movie. It's impossible. It's very difficult to think of somebody who would do better than William H. Macy or better than Francis McDormand.
He just nails that. Like, I after watching this movie, I was like, man, I really want to watch Pleasantville again, because I love Pleasantville, and he kind of plays a similar role, like where he's kind of not looked at in a respected way, and he takes that through the whole movie, and trying to joins the side of the whites, or the black and white people, I guess. I don't know. Shameless. People talk about his role
Shameless,
in Shameless.
yeah. One of those things, Shameless like stole him from us for a long time, it feels like. Because I love him. Have you ever seen a movie called Happy Texas?
Maybe.
It's really good. Like, two bank robbers are hiding out with their money in a small town, and they have to pretend to be gay, and become the kids' theater directors of that town.
Yes, Steve
And
Zahn.
William H. Macy plays a closeted sheriff who ends up like falling in love with one of those robbers. So they have to do like a gentleman prefers blondes thing where he like has to string them along until they can leave town or whatever. But William H. Macy, like, in a silly movie, I'm not saying it's amazing, but it's a fun watch. There's a couple scenes in there where he like gets teary, dewy-eyed about like how hard it is for him to come out and how he's never been in love before, and everything he feels about this man is like really beautiful.
Yeah, Train Dreams. If you haven't watched, I don't know if you've watched it yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it this week.
He has a brief role in Train Dreams. He's really good in that. Boogie Nights. He's in half of that movie, and he kind of delivers on that. Yeah, he's great. And deserves a little bit more credit, but I am glad he got nominated for this, at least.
Yeah, totally.
So, all right, let's do a 96 or 2026 recast. Who would you cast in these roles if the movie were made? We remade it in 96, or if we remade it today.
So I have a lot of names written down, but I don't even know who they would play. It's really hard. And so my big thing, I mean, the obvious thing is you can go with Holly Hunter, the other Coen brothers, like, heroine. And she'd probably do a pretty good job as Marge. I think she would do great. But then I just thought of Canadian comedy troupes. And so you got the SCTV crew, and then like the Best in Show crew. So Catherine O'Hara. And then I don't know where these people go, but you get Dave Foley, Rick Moranis, Dan Aykroyd in here.
I'm so glad that you said that, because I had Rick Moranis as Jerry.
Yeah.
How cool would that be if Rick Moranis had this role? Like,
yeah. Even Phil Hartman could be in there somewhere. Like Mike Myers, Tim Robbins I put later, but Parker Posey from Best in Show. Like, I don't know where you put those people, but I don't know how you could do this movie. I was looking through 1996 actors, and none of them belong in this movie. You know?
Yeah.
But those people could pull this off.
I said John Goodman as Norm, if we're doing a Coen's thing. I said James Woods could be the Carl role.
Okay.
I don't love James Woods. James Woods is a good actor for like in the 80s and early 90s. James Woods was doing some pretty good. He's just a mouthy guy. I think Steve Buscemi's better at it than anybody else is. Also, Julianne Moore as Marge.
Oh, that could work. That's a good idea.
Yeah. I think she's done something similar to this, and I can't put my finger on it, but she stuck out to me. So that was kind of my 96. I love the Catherine O'Hara thing, though. Like,
Catherine O'Hara is a really good pick for back then.
Yeah. Dave Foley, man.
I love Dave Foley.
Yeah, he's good. All right, did you do 2026?
Well, I kind of did the same thing. I had some good ones for Marge, but then it's just trying to, like, it's even worse than '96, trying to get like the Apatow crew in there in some way for like Canadians. But they don't really have the accent as much as the SCTV people do. I think my good pick there for Marge is like Linda Cardellini.
Okay. I
Has
like
done
that.
comedy acting.
Yeah.
I think could put on an accent pretty well. And then other than that, it's like Maya Rudolph or Ellie Kemper or somebody.
Yeah. Ellie Kemper could be. I could see her doing it. It'd be a little bit funnier than maybe
That's the thing is all these recasts make it more
of
blatantly a comedy.
Yeah.
But back then we used to have actors who could do comedy well and drama, and I don't know that we have that as much anymore.
Do you remember the first season of Fargo?
Yeah.
That actress, I think, is wonderful. I think she's still like she does more TV and stuff now, but I think she would have been incredible.
Well, for that matter, Kirsten Dunst probably would do really good.
Oh yeah,
she was in Best in Show, and now is close enough, appropriate age to play Marge, and she's done that accent before, has played it to comedy. I think she'd be good.
Either of the girls from Booksmart I had put down as Marge. They're a little bit younger. The girl from The Middle. Did you ever watch that sitcom, The Middle?
Oh, Eden Sure.
Eden Sure, yeah.
Yeah, whatever happened to her? She have a career? She was so good in that show.
I think she's just. I think she does podcasts. I don't know. She's out there somewhere. She's great. I said Michael Cera for Jerry.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's why I was going to put Jay Baruchel there.
Oh, they'd be good. Jay Baruchel would be good.
You ever seen the movie Real Time?
No, I've seen the cover of that movie, but I've never seen it.
It's a movie in real time, and Jay Baruchel's a guy behind on his gambling debts, and Randy Quaid is there to kill him, but spends the day taking him to say goodbye to finish up lost business and like talk to him the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's doing the squirrely, like trying to get out of things, and that.
I think that would be good. I actually really like the Jay Baruchel one. That's great casting. Anybody else?
No.
I had
for Robinson.
Who was that?
Tim Robinson.
Tim Robinson. Yeah, that would be good. That'd be fun.
One of the one-off characters for sure.
Paul Walter Hauser I had for Norm, and then a guy that I liked for Carl is an actor director named Jim Cummings. I posted that thing in Discord about like what movies you would recommend to, like you always recommend to people. And then it also caused me to think of a movie that I don't recommend enough and should recommend to people is a movie called Thunder Road. And it stars Jim Cummings, and he directed it, and nobody has seen it. And I recommend it to everybody. Go see or look up Thunder.
You're talking about Days of Thunder.
No, Thunder Road, based or the song, from Springsteen.
The 1958 Thunder Road?
No, this is at like 2016 or 17 Thunder Road.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I like this movie. I like that movie a lot. So that guy, he's great, and would make a really good Carl, in my opinion.
Yeah, he looks good.
All right, what are some fun facts or behind the scenes things that you learned about this movie? I didn't write down a ton, so
I had more than I need to on this one.
And we went over some of them already.
Yeah. A couple of Kubrick references people have seen. Some of the specific shots of breaking the door down are like The Shining. These boots are made for walking. Is a reference to Full Metal Jacket, and it's on the radio. And then when Steve Buscemi says just a little bit of the old In and Out, it's like a Clockwork Orange thing.
I did notice that.
It's a little bit of a loose connection, but I see it there.
I do think that's what he was referencing, though, when he said a little of the old In and Out thing. Yeah. Definitely referencing Clockwork Orange there. Bruce Campbell's in this movie.
I was saving it for the end. The most brutal trivia I saw is somebody took the time to write online. This is the only movie Bruce Campbell's been in that's been nominated for a Best Picture.
Which is so funny. Like, damn, thanks.
It's got to be one of his friends just trolling him.
I hope it's Bruce Campbell himself. Like, just put his own trivia on there.
Yeah, that'd be funny. What else we got here? I mean, it's very well-known trivia that like the movie's called Fargo. They picked the name because it sounded better than like Brainerd, but it barely takes place in North Dakota at all or in Fargo.
Geir, the Swede, has 18 lines of dialogue in the entire movie, and never says more than a complete sentence at one time, kind of like our president. And then Carl Showalter, Steve Buscemi's character, has over 150 lines of dialogue.
Yeah, putting them next to each other is pretty great.
And then you get the best trivia, like the trivia within Big Lebowski, where they shut him up the entire time.
Right.
So much so that John Goodman tells him to shut the fuck up constantly in that movie.
Yeah, right. He's not allowed to talk in the next one. That's pretty funny, actually. Let's see. Okay, so Frances McDormand's pregnancy suit was filled with birdseed, but also she accidentally left it in her trailer one night, and the breasts froze, and one of them exploded.
Oh, jeez. I did not write that one down.
One of the silicone breasts exploded the next day on set because it froze overnight.
Nice. Do you okay, let's talk about the pregnancy thing here. You don't really ever like see her, like, we all know she's pregnant, but like they never bring super attention to it at all. Like, she's bundled up, it's Minnesota. She's bundled up a ton. Like, the only times they ever reference it is when she's like sitting down with Jerry and saying, "Oh, I'm carrying a bit of a load here," or the 2 months at the end of it, and then when she hugs Mikey Yanagita. Yeah. She never complains. Like, she has the morning sickness scene, but like she never complains about it. She never, like, you never let that. Her being pregnant is not any focus of this. It's just like a stakes raiser, but they're not going to kill a pregnant woman.
I guess. I didn't think about it that way, but I already knew how the movie ended. Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty cool that she just happens to be pregnant.
Yeah.
I saw a funny Reddit thread where people are arguing about whether that was a good or bad thing in the movie. It's just dudes being dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if there's like anything thematic to it, I think it's more just Coen brothers like those random details just to be there. Like they like a sparse visual scene that is like full of little tiny details that are unique.
And it gives their characters lives. Like, these are lived in people. They're not just, I'm just standard white woman. Like, here, like, I have a life. I have a baby on the way. I have like all these things. Like, they do those little things with characters that you're talking about that gives them just a little bit more without having to say anything about it. So,
right. And then, I mean, if you were to put some like kind of art school, like thematic element to her, then she like represents a person bringing life, chasing down all these people who are throwing life away cheaply,
Yeah. The Minnesota was 179 times in the script.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, eat that 180 something fucks in Godfather.
It's great. Like, another thing about the Coens, and we probably talked about this on the Coens podcast when we talked about it, is like, when they write a script, there is no like ad-libbing, there is no like improv in these scenes. They write it gets said in the scenes. That's kind of like famous for the Coen brothers. So,
I mean, there was one trivia I didn't write down where the Swede guy thought that it was a mistake that he called it Pancake's House instead of Pancake House. And the Coen brothers apparently were like, there are no typos in our script.
Just they know what they're doing.
Yeah, trust me. When we make something plural, it's because we've talked about it.
They probably had a big argument of it. That's probably why they broke up. They were like, I really wanted to call it Pancake House, and you said Pancake's House, and it's over.
That was it.
We're done here.
I got a little Ohio trivia for you.
Oh, okay.
You great state of Ohio. You're a big John Kasich fan, right?
I love John Kasich.
In his book, Stand for Something, The Battle for America's Soul, Ohio Governor John Kasich spends 3 pages describing his hatred for Fargo.
Great. Glad I'm represented.
Yeah. I'm not buying that book, but if I ever see it like at a Goodwill, I'm going to find those 3 pages and read what he wrote about it.
Didn't rip them out. Chad says, I heard someone say that the snow was a character in the movie, and which is funny because they wanted to get more snow in the movie.
Well, yeah, they
ship in, yeah.
It was like a very warm winter, and so they were like, you see the 2 scenes at the beginning and the end that are very snowy. But I did see people bring up like when the bartender guy's talking to the cop or whatever, they're all bundled up like it's crazy, but like the snow's melting in the street. They wouldn't be dressed that way.
It's nice. Any other fun facts?
I think I may have had another. Oh yeah. Oh fudge. I didn't want to use my last F word. About 30 minutes in the film, the big Swede Geir Grimsrud chases after the eyewitnesses in the car. He yells, "Javla fitta," which in Swedish means fucking cunt.
Nice.
Just a little trivia.
I love that.
Oh, and the wood chipper is on display at the Fargo Visitor Center.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you're driving through Fargo, stop at the Visitor Center. You can see the actual wood chipper from the movie.
But it doesn't even take place in Fargo. There's only one scene in Fargo. All right. Like a Fine Wine and Dish, if you could pair this movie with another movie for a double feature, what would you choose?
I had two really good ones. A Simple Plan.
Okay. Yes.
It's the Billy Bob Thornton. It's a Sam Raimi movie that takes place in a very snowy northwestern or like mountain midwestern place. And it's about three people who discover a big bag of money, and they have a simple plan just to sit on it for a while and then split it up, make sure nobody's looking for it. And then, of course, things turn south.
That's a good movie.
It's a really good movie, and it really is perfect with Fargo because it is like simple crime turning into big crime and all their plans going wrong, and it's very snowy.
That's another good Billy Bob performance. He's fantastic in that movie.
He's really good in that. And then who is it? It's Bill Paxton and
Bridget Fonda.
Well, who's the third? There's a third man in it.
Brent Briscoe.
Okay,
yeah. He's like a character act. Gary Cole is the FBI agent in that movie.
Right. Yeah, it's great. And then the other one I had is a Rich Linklater film, Bernie.
Yeah, I love that. That's a good one.
Bernie's a great movie about small town crime, a lot of comedy, a lot of realism mixed with fictional stuff, dark comedy. It's good.
Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, as somebody in chat just said. I think that's a Sidney Lumet film?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Bernie is very good. I had 7 Psychopaths, which is more comedy than crime kind of movie, but I really like this guy's movie. I think he did like In Bruges, Martin McDonagh. Yeah, In Bruges, kind of in the same vein and a little bit like his are a little bit more like Guy Pearce, like Snatch and those, but more American, I'd say. In 7 Psychopaths, I said Burn After Reading and Big Lebowski combined are kind of this movie.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I also said a movie, The Nice Guys, which is another comedy crime movie. Nice Guys is really good. And then a movie that takes place in Texas called Vengeance, starring BJ Novak. He's like a podcaster that goes to talk about this thing in Texas and then ends up like getting to know the families in Texas and uncovers this like crime thing there. It's not the best movie ever. It's not Fargo.
BJ Novak star in a movie?
Yeah, that's BJ Novak starring in a movie. Like he is the main guy. I saw that movie in theaters, which good for me. Yeah, those are the only ones I have. Any others?
I just had 3 Billboards maybe as a double feature.
Yeah. Martin McDonagh.
Rural, Frances McDormand, definitely a lot heavier movie than Fargo. Yeah. But yeah, 2 brilliant roles. I think she won a Best Actress for that.
I think she won for Nomadland, and then she won for
Fargo.
She's got 3 though, I think.
You got 3? Well, it's got to be 3 Billboards, right? I wonder.
I feel like something recently.
No, it wasn't that long ago, but I guess it was a while ago now.
She
won for 3 Billboards. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nomadland, Fargo, and 3 Billboards.
Okay.
Just 2017.
Yeah. She gets nominated anytime she does anything. I believe she gets nominated. So
she was nominated for Almost Famous, which is crazy because it's not that big a role, but she's really good in it.
She's so good in that movie.
And then I haven't seen Women Talking, but I wanted to. And then something called North Country I've never heard of. She got nominated for. And she got nominated for Mississippi Burning, which I think is this year.
No. Ghosts of Mississippi is this year. Mississippi Burning is back in the 80s.
Okay.
So, a little different. So I think same stories, but just different movies. It's crazy. But yeah, Women Talking is really good. Burn After Reading. Yeah, that's what I would like. That is like her at her most whimsical, I think.
Right. And if we had to like recommend Coen Brothers movies that people haven't seen or didn't like when they saw, and I'm like, you got to go watch this one. Burn After Reading's mine. It's a once a year watch for me. I love that movie. It's
I
very.
did not like that movie. That might have been a good one for me to say, like, was my enemies to lovers one. Like,
Yeah, I
I
remember
did not like Burn After Reading, and now I've come around on it. I like it a lot more. I think it was the Brad Pitt of it all. Like, and he's really good in it after going back and rewatching it, and he's really good in it.
Well, and then like my girlfriend said today, she was like, after seeing her be a stone cold babe in Blood Simple, now she's like a babe in everything I see, even in Fargo with the pregnancy suit and like the 9 layers. She's like, she's so hot.
She's great. I love Frances. She deserves the 3 Oscars she has. She probably needs more.
And has earned those Oscars with a like a high ratio. Like I don't think she acts a ton.
No, I think she's probably got like
1,000 shit movies. I love Meryl Streep, but she's been in so much garbage or mid-ass movies, and then has been in great movies too. But Frances McDormand doesn't do that much for how well she acts and everything.
24 movies. That's how many she's been in.
Yeah, and got nominated for 6 of them.
Yeah, that's good ratio.
That's crazy.
Good for her.
That's Daniel Day-Lewis, you know?
Yeah. Meryl Streep's been nominated 16 times, and she's definitely done more movies. And she's
like 200 movies.
Yeah, she's the GOAT. But yeah, that's crazy ratio. On a scale of 1 to 5, how likely are you to throw this on again, or how likely are you to just rewatch this?
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
I think I'm not going to rewatch it for a year or more, and it may be a while. I don't rewatch a lot of movies, but yeah, there's no way that I like wouldn't want to, you know.
And there are clips of this movie that I would rewatch like over and over again. If I wanted to just go to YouTube and pull up the crime scene clip, I would do that. More and more. But yeah, I had 5 as well. And then rate the film from 1 to 5 stars.
It's a 5 out of 5, Cody.
It's a 5. It's a 5 for me. And you guys can say what you want in the chat. It's a 5 from me. 5 from you.
5 from me. I definitely have seen this movie so many times that I wasn't like over the moon, like flooded with joy watching it yet again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's how I am with things like my favorite music and movies or whatever. That at some point there's like a limited amount of joy I can pull out of things. But there's no way, like, this movie is near perfect. It's a brilliantly crafted, unique, creative voice that touches everybody somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no other movie exactly like it, and there never will be, and that kind of thing. So
it's just tight. It's hour and 40 minutes. Great performances. Yeah, it's good.
Yep.
So, Ryan, thank you so much for hanging out and talking movies with us. Before we wrap up, do you have a recent movie recommendation that you want to give us?
Well, I screwed up.
Okay.
I don't want to get fined. By starting my Oscars death race way too late, as in like 3 days ago.
Been there.
And so I'm not sure I'm going to make it, but I've been barreling through, including as trying to barrel through the Oscars death race, being like, oh, I got to watch Fargo twice this weekend too. So I start at the bottom, like the less obscure movies, and kind of move up the list. So I mostly watch shorts and a documentary or two. But I got to look it up so I don't pronounce it wrong like a dum-dum. It only got nominated for makeup and hair.
Kuko?
Yes, that's it.
I started it and was really into it and haven't went back to it yet.
Kokuhu.
Yeah.
It's a 3-hour Japanese film, and but it is gorgeously shot, and it is deep characterization. It's like Japan's Amadeus is what it's like, with like two men who grew up in young men who grew up in kabuki theater, and their like career aspirations and pitfalls and all of that. And I loved it. It was really good. And out of all 9 movies I've seen for the Oscars, that's worth saying that it should have gotten more. And K-pop Demon Hunters is the best movie I've seen in like, I don't know, 14 to 24 years.
Better than Arco.
Loved that movie.
Better than Arco.
To last minute.
Did you see Zootopia 2?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good, but I mean, I don't know. It's still American animation slop, but like it's above average for sure. I liked Zootopia 2, but I don't tend to enjoy the post Pixar There's a Million Kid movies around as much as I used to. I don't hate them either. I like watching them, but Like last year, everybody was raving about the Wild Robot, and I was like, it's fine, I guess. That's kind of how I
Mhm.
feel about those movies a lot. So I didn't like Elio at all. I mean, I didn't hate it. I was just like, whatever. And
I was
Zootopia,
surprised by Elio, honestly.
surprised at how good it was.
Yeah, because I saw the advertisements for that movie and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a bad movie.
I
And
agree that just the marketing made it seem like the worst rehash in the world.
yeah,
But because it was nominated, I made me think that it was probably a little better. And then it was like, yeah, it's fine. It's pretty good.
it gave me like Lilo and Stitch vibes a little bit. Like Lilo and Stitch is not my like in the top tier of Disney animated classics, but it's a good one, a solid one in the middle. I think that people,
I think Lilo and Stitch is a great movie. Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. It was just kind of mid. Zootopia 2, I thought was better than average, though. I really had a good time with it. But I'm not telling everybody to run out and see it or anything. There was a weird moment though. At the end of Zootopia 2, spoilers.
Nick Fury comes out and gets the fox.
Yeah, right. No, when the two main characters have to make up with each other, they have this long emotional they kind of make it. It's crazy how they walk this line where they kind of make them say "I love you" to each other romantically without actually saying it.
Interesting.
Like it's really difficult for them to finally say, but they say stuff like, "You're the most important thing in the world to me. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me." The fox and the bunny. And I just thought it was crazy that I didn't think it was crazy. I thought it was like kind of cool actually that they brought that emotional level to their like cop partnership. But they also were smart enough to be like, well, what are we gonna do? Make this fox and bunny kiss? Like we can't. They like kept it just short. It was kind of an interesting like trapeze act of writing that they did there.
Push that. I want Zootopia 3 where we get Fox and Bunny.
Yeah,
because they deserve it.
I want Fruitopia, the movie.
I loved that machine in my high school. The Fruitopia machine was top tier.
No, but K-pop Demon Hunters and Kokohu double feature. Watch it tonight.
Very good, very good. Yeah, I'm slowly making my way through it. I think I've gotten 26 of the 50 nominated films done, from including all the shorts and stuff. So I've got some ground to make up.
I'm doing a little better than you, I think, because I think I got like 13 out of 15 of the shorts, and I'm at like 22 movies left for the longs.
Yeah. I've got 4 of the best pictures to watch. So
I've only seen Sinners, and I'm trying to rewatch it because it's been a year since I watched it.
That's true. I haven't seen Sinners in a while, but I had to watch Zootopia 1 so I could prepare for Zootopia 2.
Cody, shut the fuck up. I watched both of the Avatars to watch the new Avatar.
I think that's the one I'm not gonna get to.
If I don't make it to Hamnet because I watched 2 Avatars I didn't need to watch, that's my fault. That's on me, but I'm gonna be mad at me. Those movies are trash. Oh my god, there's 12 hours of trash. Those movies are so bad, Cody. 52/ shoot me in the head.
Fire and Ash, baby. Fire and Ash. People love it. Well, thank you so much for those recommendations.
I've been day drinking. I'm sorry. I
love it. Well, if you want to keep this conversation going, you can join our Discord server. You can follow us on Instagram, where I post when we're going to do these, and check out my letterbox to see what I've been watching lately. And some of my friends are out there too. If they don't follow them. Next week, I'm not sure. Are we doing Monday next week, or is it the next week that we're doing Monday? No, it's the 22nd, the weekend of the 22nd. We're doing the Monday. Next week, we are continuing our theme for Oscar season, dedicated to the films that were nominated for Best Picture at the 1997 Academy Awards. It's an honor to even be nominated. We're doing Jerry Maguire, which is an important line in that movie. Not an important line, but Cameron Crowe classic from 1996, with starring Tom Cruise. So, show me the money and be there.
Please show me. You still owe me for like 20. You still owe me for like 25 episodes of 52/. You promised me.
Don't say that, because people are going to start coming to me asking for money. Don't do that.
Chad, Flo was my pick for best animated movie last year. It was gorgeous.
It's great. Yeah, it's wonderful. We'll be live next Sunday, March 15th at 5 p.m. Thank you all so much for joining in and communicating and doing all this stuff and cheering your bits. You don't have to do that. We'll see you next time, though, on 52/1996.
We spun the reel through desert storms and courtroom cries. Love letters burned, planes went down, truth hid behind the lies. 1996.